Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, विश्वगुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातदहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं परमानन्दमाधवम्। Hare Krishna, all the participants, I request that you please keep your video on so that I know who is present. So as the golden proportion ratio goes, 100 people decide to do something in their life out of the many lakhs of them, but only 10 of them manage to take the first step. And in that, only one or two will be able to go and achieve their goals. So this is not just the problem with the youth, it's also a problem with even the much grown up adults. Many times people know that something has to be done. Few times people know what has to be done. And very rarely people do what has to be done. So the dreams do not get converted to actions simply because people do not want to take that first step. People do not want to do. People do not want to be people of action. People want to just always listen to things and then only allow it to remain as ideas and dreams in their life. So, as we can see, out of the hundreds of people which we contacted in the last 15 days, about 200, uh, all 200 of them registered for the sessions. In that, we can see the proportion 20 of them have come into the WhatsApp group. And out of which, today we are seeing 2 or 3 of you attending this session. So many times people are not able to make up their mind that they need guidance. People are not able to accept the fact that they need guidance. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is always going to be the case, and it's an experience for us from years. And these people again will come tomorrow and ask, "Can I get a recording? Can you repeat the class?" All these things will go on. So we'll begin anyway today's session because we have a limit of 40 minutes. So today we have decided that we'll talk about the 5 factors that determine whether we succeed or whether we fail. That is basically what are the 5 factors that determine results, which we count as success or failure. And some people would like to call failures as progress going on, the ongoing progress. They do not want to call it as failures. So, based on various studies regarding performance, success, goal achievements, um, 5 key factors. It can be boiled down to 5 key factors that determine results. So, I've taken it as a summary from many of the success books, and it boils down to 5 factors. What are the 5 factors? One is requires clear planning and goal setting. So what is this? This is the method. So method in the sense, Hare Krishna, I'm audible, is it not? Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, yes, you're
All right. Okay.
Yes, no, audible.
All right. So first thing that is required, that is uh, taken as the number one factor for any kind of result, whether it is success or failure, it is planning. If there is clear planning, and there is goal setting that is clear, then it's usually the recipe for success. Not no planning that is clear, no goals set, that's surely a recipe for failure. Yet, despite this, knowing that it begins with the method, the first step is planning and goal setting, many people fail to plan. And when they fail to plan, they're already planning to fail. And obviously, there are no goals. When there is no plan, there is no goal. And if there is a goal, it is phantasmagoria. That means it becomes a goal in the dreamland because nothing is concrete. So, first thing is the method, and the method is planning and setting of goals. So, establishing should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be actionable. So, these goals have to be set like this. So, that is the criticality of it. Then, a clear plan dictates the effectiveness of actions and helps prioritize efforts. So when I have clear plan, then my action plan is clear to me, and then my priorities are clear to me. Like for example, at 9:15 a.m., 9:15 p.m. today, I have to attend a session which I registered for. I want to do well in life, and therefore I will take this action. What is the action to take? To come onto the Zoom session. Secondly, the second requirement is consistent action and work ethic. That is the habits. So गोल सेटिंग तो कर लिया, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में ज्वाइन कर लिया, जूम का मुझे आईडी मिल गया, रिमाइंडर मिल गया, बट देयर इज नो एक्शन टेकन. It is not consistent with what I started with. So when plan is not followed by action, it leads to failure. It is a failure. When plan leads to action, and there is a definitive plan, and there is action according to the plan, then we are already on the path of success. And the ethics of work, what is right, what is wrong. So this, the second one can be called as habits, the habits that we have. So daily habits, what time I wake up, what time I sleep, what I do in my break time, how I spend my mornings, how I spend my time before I sleep. So, how I spend my day with my family, how I spend my time with myself. So, daily habits, sustained efforts, this drives the performance. So, cultivating productive habits and maintaining discipline often determine quality and the pace of results. So, just going back there again, so cultivating productive habits will determine what? Quality of my results and the pace at which I will get my results. Many people complain about not getting the desired result despite not taking the first two steps: goal setting and planning and action. They don't take action, but they're always expecting results. That is again wishful thinking. It is not going to happen. Third one is the mindset. ठीक है, मैंने प्लान कर लिया, मैंने एक्शन भी लेना प्रारंभ कर दिया, लेकिन अगर मेरा माइंड सेट ठीक नहीं है, इफ आई एम नॉट हैविंग द करेक्ट फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ माइंड, so that's called as growth mindedness. So the third factor that determines whether I succeed or whether I fail in any effort that I do in my life is the mindset I carry while I take my action. So an optimistic, let's say today, the term people like to use is realistic, resilient mindset. It determines how obstacles are handled. Because when I have plan A, I must also be ready with plan B. Plan A is with no obstacles. Plan B is when I face obstacles. What do I do? What is the reroute that I take? I need to keep going forward. Will I cross over the hurdle? Will I bypass the hurdle? So I'll have to decide at that time. So a growth mindset views failures as learning opportunities. तो ऐसा नहीं कि we are not going to fail. तो कभी होगा नहीं कि हमारा प्लानिंग क्रिस्टल क्लियर हो, और हमारा एक्शंस कंसिस्टेंट हो, तो there are going to be setbacks, maybe not failures, there are going to be setbacks. So a growth mindset, it views these setbacks as learning opportunities. हर setback पे व्यक्ति सीखता है। जो गोल ओरिएंटेड पर्सन है, हर सेटबैक में वो सीखेगा क्यों ये हुआ या क्यों ये नहीं हुआ, और उसको सीख के, उस वहां से सीख के ही विल टेक करेक्टिव स्टेप्स. All these are taken from, all the five factors I'm speaking of are taken from well researched content. These are the five factors that determine success or failure. According to all the research work, जिसका जो summary है, ये 5 points है. And then I will relate it to what is given in our ancient Vedic wisdom. And let us see how consistently it matches or does not match. The third one, or the fourth one, is skill acquisition. I cannot be a mediocre person. Knowledge acquisition. Continuously, I have to gain knowledge. Continuously, I have to upgrade my skill. Today's modern world is very competitive world. We can't afford to remain stagnant. If even if I'm on the right track, if I'm stagnant, I'll be run over by the train. There will be an accident. So constantly we need to keep upgrading our skills. Constantly we need to keep upgrading our knowledge. So, so skill acquisition and knowledge, that is called as competence. The fourth factor is competence, abilities, the innate qualities that a person has got, which has either he has developed or he has been born with. So relevant skills, expertise, ongoing learning, they're all required to perform high level tasks. वरना हम mediocre tasks में we will be happy with mediocre tasks and we will remain mediocre while my ambitions are very high. And I don't match it with plan, goals, actions, work ethics, and mindset. And neither do I take action for skill acquisition and knowledge. आज का सेशन क्या है? आप 20 लोग इस ग्रुप में थे. आज का सेशन क्या है? It is all about skill acquisition. It is about knowledge. But people do not want to even acquire that knowledge. लेकिन succeed करना जरूर चाहते हैं. How is it going to happen? The fifth one that is given by all the uh, goal setting and development books as a summary is the environment and support systems. देखिए, मैंने गोल सेट कर दिया, मैंने प्लान कर दिया, मैंने एक्शन ले लिया, मेरा वर्क एथिक्स प्रॉपर है, मैंने प्रॉपर स्किल एक्विजिशन का टास्क ले लिया, मैंने नॉलेज एक्विजिशन का कार्यक्रम भी कर लिया, मैंने एक ग्रोथ माइंडसेट भी रख लिया. लेकिन डिस्पाइट ऑल दिस, देयर इज वन मोर फैक्टर दैट कैन अफेक्ट. It is not related to me directly. It can be things around me. That also can determine whether I will succeed or fail. So, environment and support systems. I am having all energy, but if there is no support system for me, if there are no relationships, if there are no mentors, if there are no uh, facilitators who are taking me forward, who are clearing my doubts, who are letting me know that I'm on the right path, and when I'm slightly going off track, they're going to correct me, come on the track. अगर ये system, support system नहीं है, there is again a very good chance of being a failure. We are not, because there is no way of understanding that I'm going wrong. So, mentorship, relationships, these are very important. Relationships means in relation to the goal that I've set. My mentor, my well wishers, my parents, my kin, my relatives, they all play a role. The factors, how far I have to go, and what is the way, what is the means I go with, how pleasant is my journey when I go. If there is an unpleasant journey from the time I start from my house to the reach my office or college. When I reach my college, then already I am in a soup. So the mind is not receptive at that time. So, so surrounding environments, mentorship, peer support. We need support from friends. So, therefore, it's very important that we are with like minded people. If we are with people who have opposite characters of us, who are not goal oriented, who are not focused, the default nature of material world is we will always go into deterioration. अगर आप कुछ भी रख देंगे कुछ समय के लिए बिना देख रेख के वो सड़ना प्रारंभ हो जाएगा मन भी ऐसा ही है तन भी ऐसा ही है इफ यू डोंट टेक केयर ऑफ योर बॉडी it will start deteriorating. If you don't take care of your mind, it will start deteriorating. So if I do not have support resources, जैसे कि if your parents are not able to afford education, if your parents are not able to afford a good paying guest hostel for you, so that also will play a role because the kind of environment then I will be in will be with mediocre people, unfortunately, and that kind of sangha will affect me. So this will significantly impact our performance. All other, the first four factors are right, but the environment is not right. So it is again going to not work. So surrounding oneself with positive, motivating influences increases success rate. So, and this is the you can say that summary research of more than 100 personality development books. So let's go on analyzing this factors a little bit more detailedly before I come to our Vedic wisdom. So what do these authors say? So these authors very consistently they are quoting that specific factors that determine results vary depending on whether you are looking at personal success, business, performance, or scientific research. And there are five core themes that consistently appear across these fields. So, what are they? First one was clarity of vision and goals. So, without a clear target, results are often inconsistent or non existent. मतलब आप रिजल्ट को भूल ही जाइए अगर आपका टारगेट क्लियर नहीं है रिजल्ट इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी going to come to you at all. A positive result will not come. So what is required is to set smart goals. What are smart goals? Smart goal means they should be specific. They should be measurable. That means every time I should be able to review it. They should be achievable. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं आज बोलूंगा today I will finish reading Bhagavad Gita. तो वो achievable target नहीं है. So you have to break down the target into measurable and specific goal. Specific goal, I will read Bhagavad Gita. Measurable, every day I'm going to read this much. Achievable, yes, I have that much time in 1 hour. I have time, so I can read this much. Should be relevant because my goal is to read Bhagavad Gita. I'm going to read Bhagavad Gita, so it is relevant and should be time bound. इतने समय में, in this much time, I will complete. I heard, I read a very good quote. Without deadlines, there is no creativity. And without deadlines, there is no guarantee of result. Because the mind works in such a way that it expands with time. अगर मैं एक टास्क को 30 मिनट टाइम दूंगा the chances are that I will complete it in 30 minutes. If I give the same task 1 hour time, the chances are that I will take 1 hour to complete it, although it can be completed in 30 minutes. So the mind expands its work within the time deadline that I keep. So deadlines, they say, must not be comfortable. Comfortable deadlines रख के जा रहे हैं तो that means my mind is not getting challenged. And so then what happens? I fall back into mediocrity again. Then prioritization. आज 9:15 को मुझे प्रायोरिटी पे ये सेशन अटेंड करना था क्यों मैंने चॉइस किया था कि मुझे यूथ एम्पावरमेंट प्रोग्राम में ज्वाइन करना है यूथ विंग में मुझे जाना है आई वांट टू improve myself and when we have released that we are going to go by both the modern concepts and we are going to extrapolate it with the Vedic concepts and present to you. It's not that we are only going to give you Vedic concepts. We're also trying to extract from modern concepts and trying to show you how it is related. And then you can easily see how our Vedic wisdom was so accurate in determining how a person should work. So all the book called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. If you have heard about this book, the author is Stephen Covey. A very popular book, one of the topmost selling books, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. जिसमें उन्होंने सेवन हैबिट्स दिया है, वो सारे सेवन हैबिट्स ही acknowledges I took this from the Vedic sciences and especially from Bhagavad Gita, which he considered as master plan for human beings, master key for human being. Because भगवान श्री कृष्णा क्या बता रहे हैं उसमें अर्जुन को, he is talking about his work ethics, his goals, his actions, his efforts, his focus. He is talking about these things. He is not talking about mantra meditation. He is not talking about tyaga. He is not talking about any other puja related thing. He is talking about task at hand and how he, as a kshatriya, because he is a kshatriya, he has to fight. If he was a cook, he would have told you don't fight, you go home, go and cook. You're a kshatriya. You are supposed to protect the society. Today, the society is under the wrong hands. So it is your duty to protect your citizens. That is what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. And when we read Bhagavad Gita, we come to know that actually Bhagavad Gita is a manual of life. So, anyway, I will not want you to take it blindly. Everything that I'll present from the modern concepts, and then we will also look at what is given in Bhagavad Gita regarding the same things. And then you can match. You don't have to take my word for it. So, determining which goals require immediate attention and avoiding wasting my limited resources. Time is very precious, energy is very precious, money is very precious. So, I have to utilize it very intelligently. And there should be strategic planning, having a roadmap, blueprint before taking action. ऐसा नहीं कि मैं ऐसे ही कूद गया एक्शन में. You must spend a good amount of time uh, planning things before you start taking the action. So it is called sharpening the axe. So Abraham Lincoln was one told, if I give you an axe to cut down a tree, what will you do? He said, 60% of my time I will spend sharpening the axe. And then I will use the axe. Not that I got an axe and I'll start chopping the tree. That is going to be a lot of effort. You might be able to fell the tree, but you might end up breaking the axe. You might end up breaking down yourself, and you might not eventually break down the tree. But when we spend most of my time or required time sharpening the axe, then within a few strokes, the tree can be made to fall down. So the second thing we talked about in this concept was about habits and discipline. पहला तो goals था. Second one is habits and disciplines. So results are often cumulative effect of daily actions. ये हम भूल जाते हैं. Every day what I do contributes to my goal. It contributes to my overall life itself. So what I do every day is is a very important thing. It is not that आज चलो ठीक है. No, today also matters. Every hour matters. So it is not a single event. आपका सक्सेस एक सिंगल इवेंट नहीं है. आपका सक्सेस, it is a continuous journey. So we are talking about the medium. So consistency is required. We must have good habits which align with long-term objectives. Like for example, waking up early, doing breathing exercises, pranayama, to improve my blood circulation, especially to my brain early in the morning. Mantra meditation to control my mind, to keep my mind focused. Mantra, what is the meaning of mantra? Man means mind. Tra means to deliver. Tra means to control. So mantra का मतलब क्या है? मन को नियंत्रण करने वाला. That is what mantras are meant for. And work ethics. There should be a strong commitment to putting the necessary effort. आज 9:15 को मुझे लॉग इन करना है. Yes, that is the work ethic. ठीक है, आज मिस करेंगे. It's not ethical for you. You might think what wrong is there with that. It's not ethical for you because your main responsibility and duty is to yourself first. And if you're not going to follow it up with consistency, that means you're not being ethical. More than that, your parents who are banking upon you, uh, the society which is banking upon the youth, so they are being let down. So that should not be the case. And accountability. I'm asking who are going to attend today's session? Out of 20 people, 4 people answered that they're going to attend. 3 people said maybe. Take it from me, people who did not answer one of this surely are going to be people who will always be rubbing their hands saying that if only I had taken the action at that time. And among the people who always say that I will, let me see, I'm not sure, many times it is not possible for them to jump into the right action. Only those people who say that, yes, I will do it, because I have made my priority clear. Only these people can go ahead at least to the next step. So I told you it's a journey. It is not that पहला step लेते ही आपका काम finish हो गया. First step taken is a guarantee that okay, now you are one step closer to the goal, but you also need to take the second step. So it is all about consistent daily efforts. And that's why the goals should be broken down into achievable, measurable daily tasks. So, accountability, taking full responsibility for my actions and subsequent results. So, I am not going to attend, so full responsibility I'm taking. That means I am not learning. That means my results, if it is going to be a failure, I am responsible for it. At least I need to try, at least I need to explore. We are not in a situation where we can say that I know everything. Can you all say that you know everything? I myself in this situation cannot say that I know everything, despite being a youth facilitator for almost 20 years now. So, next one, mindset and attitude. Like I said, if it is not followed up with proper mindset and basically it is about behavior, it's basically about approach. If the approach is not positive, then somehow the mind will let us down. So, the internal perspective you bring to a task is often cited as the primary cause of your results. So, आपका जो conviction है, what does your heart say? How do you feel for the task? How do you feel about getting ahead in life? How do you feel about getting coached, getting mentored? So, this all mindset, this attitude is very important. So, growth mindset is required, and the growth mindset where I accept my failures as learning opportunities. First of all, I plan and make my failure rate less. And after that, also, when I'm failing, I use that as learning lessons and I use it as my stepping stone for success. So, all the proverbs you have read, failures are stepping stone for success. Automatically, stepping stone नहीं बनेगा. उससे आपको सीखना है. उसको आपको स्टेपिंग स्टोन की तरह यूज करना है. The emotional commitment, how not only about just what my brain says, it's also what about my heart says. How do I feel for it? So it is very important that we look into that. So since this is going to be a 40-minute session, if we get the time exhausted, then we will be continuing it in the next session. It will be a continuity. So, and then resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is grit. I fall down, I get up, and then I move ahead. This is called as resilience, ability to persist through challenges without losing enthusiasm. तो बिना अ, हौसला टूटे हुए हौसला बिना उसको लेके मुझे धैर्य से आगे जाना है एंड दैट इज पॉसिबल व्हेन आई एम बीइंग मेंटर्ड व्हेन देयर इज somebody watching over me, somebody who is better than me, who is watching over me, somebody who is an expert in the field who is watching over me. मुझे साइंस सीखना है, आई गो टू अ साइंस टीचर. मुझे मैथ्स सीखना है, आई शुड गो टू अ मैथ्स टीचर. मुझे फिजिकल एजुकेशन सीखना है, मुझे पीटी टीचर के पास जाना चाहिए. मुझे लाइफ के बारे में सीखना है, आई नीड टू गो टू लाइफ कोचेस. सो इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट. So we are talking about life. We are talking about mentoring for you for success in the path of your life. So where do you go for? You go for the empowerment coaches. You go for your youth guidance coaches. Naturally, that is how it is going to be. The fourth one was competency and resources. So the technical ability to execute a plan significantly impacts the quality of the outcome. So skills and education, continuously upgrading your knowledge. So to be competitive, we need to do that. Otherwise, we will be left behind. And effective tools. Today, I should, today AI is the in thing. Even as a preacher, if I am not at least having basic knowledge of I will be left far behind. So आज मेरे जैसे लोग भी आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सीख रहे हैं. Why? Because if I don't upgrade myself, if I am not competent, then I cannot deliver. So it is always about continuous improvements. So about 9 minutes के बाद ये सेशन ऑटोमेटिकली लॉग ऑफ हो जाएगा. तो उसके 2 मिनट के बाद आप फिर से आप लॉग इन कीजिए. मुझे another 20 minutes I'll require including this 9 minutes. So we will complete it. And leveraging the strengths. So we must focus on areas where you or if you're a team, if your team have a natural advantage. So I must know my strengths and I must build on it. I must know my weaknesses and I must try to improve upon that for the better. And finally, the environment and relationships. So external factors, people around me, they can either propel me forwards or they can hinder my progress. या तो वो मेरे लिए बाधा बन सकते हैं या मेरे लिए एक रॉकेट के बूस्टर की तरह बन सकते हैं या मेरे लिए वो एक नज पुश बन सकता है जिससे मैं आगे जा सकता हूँ. So the network, the inner circle, very important to be with the right kind of people. So what happens in our youth wing is people like you who are wanting to do something in their lives, who have that fire and passion that yes, I want to achieve something in life, but they acknowledge that yes, we require guidance. So you all people like you come together. तो ऐसे क्या होगा? Your inner circle is going to be a circle of birds of the same feather. We're all going towards the same goal. Your final goals may be different, but your journey is going to be consistently the same. So surround yourself with supportive, positive influences who challenge you for the right things. People who bring you down, people who have bad habits, who will encourage you to do those bad things, you must very ruthlessly avoid. Physical and cultural environment, the workspace, the ambience of the work also matters. That's why all the companies spend crores of rupees in giving the proper ambience. The what we can say, the architecture of the building, the how the cubicles are set, कितना डिस्टेंस होना चाहिए क्यूबिकल्स में, मैनेजर का ऑफिस किस तरफ होना चाहिए, वो अप्रोच कैसे होना चाहिए, अप्रोच के थ्रू क्या क्या होना चाहिए. देयर गोइंग टू बी सम पिक्चर्स. So all this contribute to stay focused. So companies spend crores of rupees in doing research on just the ambience of the workplace so that it influences the people who work for them. And then mentorship, seeking guidance. The final point is mentorship, seeking guidance. Seeking guidance from whom? I don't go and ask my maths problem to my mother. भूख लगा है तो मैं जाऊंगा माँ के पास. माँ भूख लगी है खाना दे दो. मैथ्स प्रॉब्लम लेके मैं माँ के पास नहीं जाऊंगा. Maths problem, I will go to my maths teacher. Life problem, I'll go to a life coach. And when I want to be empowered, we go to the empowerment coaches. So seeking guidance from those who have already achieved the results that you desire. So it's very important to also have positive contact upwards, positive contact horizontally, and positive contact downwards also. The people around me who are dependent on me have to be supportive. The peer group around me have to be supportive, and the people above me have to be supportive. You have to surround yourself with these kind of people. So this is about what modern world says about achieving goals, and it's about what the modern world says about whether uh, my effort is leading to success or failure. The results are determined by these factors. So there is a very famous person called Matthew Richter. He runs a group called as the Thiagi Group. So Thiagi Group maybe they talk about five factors for performance success. So briefly, I will just tell the headlines of it. So they talk about first is aptitude. Skills तो होना चाहिए. अब नहीं है तो आपको डेवलप करना चाहिए. If you don't have the skills, you have to develop the skills. So skills is required. So then, but more than that, they talk about the aptitude के ऊपर होता है क्या बोलते हैं एप्टीट्यूड तो है he has the skill but अगर प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेगा deliberate practice deliberate goal oriented practice वो नहीं करेगा then there is no use of that skill that he has got. So there is a research done by a person called as Anders Ericsson. So Anders Ericsson has told that if skill improvement is not done by consistent practice, then the goals that you have set are going to become phantasmagoria. That means it's going to become just dreams. It is not going to work out. If there is no effortful repetition, practice, then there is no possibility of success. There's another person called as McNamara. So in 2014, he gave some statistics. 26% of performance variance in the people who are playing games, people who are in the music field, people who are in sports, people who are in education field, and people who are in professional careers. It is all dependent on practice. एप्टीट्यूड बरकरार तब रहेगा जब प्रैक्टिस रहेगा प्रैक्टिस छूटेगा तो एप्टीट्यूड लेवल्स विल go down. Then he talks about access and privilege, so like resources. आपका what is your paying power? How is your education power? Means आपका एजुकेशन का बैकग्राउंड के लिए आपके फादर मदर ने स्पेंड किया है. To what extent they were able to spend? They're able to send you to a far off place, keep you in a PG hostel. So, to what kind of environment they can afford to give you? It matters a lot. So, family background, socioeconomic status, education tracking, exposure to opportunities, all of this are going to shape success. Opportunities knocks also to people who are in the right place at the right time. और उस समय right place में right time में रह के if I am not ready to open the door, still I am going to be left behind. Like for example today, all they had to do was log in and begin the journey. ट्राई तो करना चाहिए. तो बाद में क्या होगा वो दूसरी बात है. This person also attributes luck to some extent. He says you're in the right place, you're in the right time, and there is a chance meeting of somebody. There can be an unexpected delay because of something. So, and random decisions can change many factors. So, he says luck also plays a role to a certain extent. And then